I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Wizard and my thoughts behind the Wizard. I'm not exactly doing a build video per se, just to get it out there. This is mainly just going to be kind of like a showcase thing, because just want to show you a little bit of what I'm working with though, and the skills and how they work. Starting with my gear here, I have my stuff tagged from my main class, and it's a lot of Tuvala stuff. So from what I have so far, I have 180 AP, 184 awakened AP, and then the defense I have at 263, which makes this class pretty overpowered. Like honestly, like I walk into mobs, I barely get hurt, and like there's so many self heals with this class. I feel like the Wizard is probably the best with self healing, because you got this skill, which is you literally direct it and throw it at a spot and it heals in that area. So you could even double it as a team heal. I think this one's a team heal too, and this one heals for like full health, and it's just burst of heals. So it looks like it's a group heal. I think it is. So let's take a look at it real quick. It's all within the succession line, which I'm not doing a succession build. I tried that. It's pretty cool, and I always hear a lot of people talking about how overpowered they are in PvP, and they need to get nerfed and all this stuff. And I kind of understand why they talk all that shit, because one, mage has a lot of mobility, and two, they got a lot of self heals. You know, so like it just makes it pretty strong, as well as like they're really good to mid-range fighting, mid-range to close range. Right now I'm focused on awakening, so for the most part I've been just trying to get all the skills I can and just kind of like, you know, upgrading. There's a lot of the skills in here with the way they work. I just kind of want to show a little bit of the basics of this. The differences between awakening and succession is that succession feels like it can be a little bit more ranged if it wanted to, but it's still pretty melee range, so don't expect to be sniping shit from like a mile away, because it's just not how it works. Awakening though is completely different, because awakening is very melee range, very melee focused, and the main reason for that is that a lot of its skills are literally AoEs, and they're all like right there in front of your face. Like for example, let me get rid of my pets. My main attack that I use the most is holding shift and pressing left click, and it's this. It does a shit ton of damage. You literally just walk into the mob and they die. Another one that's really good is pressing E once, does this, and it puts like this flame thing on the ground. It does a shit ton of damage. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just place it on the ground and I'll run through it, and the mobs will just melt while they're just like coming to me, so they never get a chance anyway. I'll show a little bit of how that works. And then the other skill is holding shift and then pressing right click or holding right click, and it does like a double blast. This is pretty much your only ranged attack, really, is just doing this. Kind of boring because it's real slow. And then you also have your just holding left click or holding right click does this. And the cool thing behind this is that one, it regenerates your mana, so that's what's really cool about it. And two, you can do this shit where if you side swipe, like if you move left to right like this, when you do one of these numbers, which is basically like a first person shooter kind of move, it actually shoots it faster. So watch, you see that? But you run out of stamina, so then you have to wait for your stamina to come up, because typically when you're running around, you see the stamina will go down a little bit, but if you do the machine gun tactic, it just melts it down, but it does a lot of damage doing that. And that's a really good way to just kind of get your mana up real quick, so then you can go back to doing this, you know. And then you have the F skills. So if you simply just press F, it's gonna summon a pet, and it doesn't matter which pet you use. This one I notice is more focused on range, whereas the other one is focused on melee. He does a lot of melee stuff. The pets are garbage, honestly. Like, I'm not impressed with the pets. They do good damage, but they're very slow to react. So like most times I'm gonna do way faster damage than they could possibly even imagine anyway. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send them into this group, and I'm gonna see what they do. Go, look, I'm gonna send them in. Go ahead, go do your thing. he's gonna take a while to do shit. And then also, like, the problem with it is that since he's taking so long to kill shit, like, it makes it feel kind of useless. So mainly they just look cool, and that's like the thing I want to kind of get out of the way. They just look cool, because I could just do, like, you know, my normal attacks here and destroy the shit out of this mob, you see? Whereas my pet is still trying to work on mob number 1 that I sent them to go fight, you know? Like, you see, he's taking way too long. It's kind of laughable, honestly. They just look badass. I mean, you gotta admit, like, he looks fucking cool. And then all the other F skills, we got holding S and pressing F is this one. This is a really strong, like, finisher kind of move to do. Nice cooldowns on all the abilities. Holding shift and pressing F does this, which this stomp thing it knocks them down most of the time. At least some of the regular mobs, they get knocked on the floor, and then you can follow it up by doing this. You know, so that's usually what I do, is I just knock them down and do that. But I haven't really needed to do CC that much, honestly, because I destroy the mob so fast it doesn't even matter most of the time. And even it doesn't even matter that I'm fighting 160 AP mobs right now. I could go fight 200 AP mobs and still do pretty decent. You know, like I'll destroy the mobs just as fast, pretty much. But I mean, of course, gear is like a big factor in this game, so fighting, you know, AP 200s it's not gonna net you more XP, so it's not worth it for you to, like, put yourself through, you know, taking longer to kill mobs. So yeah, I usually avoid that. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics for this. Holding W and then pressing F that does the charge thing, and then holding shift and pressing jump does the teleport, which is one of the best, like, escape abilities, and just the kind of mobility, just walk around, like, getting from mob to mob. If you're, like, you know, you find yourself in an area that doesn't have too many mobs, yeah, you could just do that. But yeah, like, Awakening, I feel like I like Awakening a lot, but the thing that I don't like about playing this, the Wizard, is that it feels a little bit too overpowered, to the point where it's boring. I literally just walk up to mobs, they die, and walk up to the next mob. Look, I put the flames on the ground, watch them all just evaporate while I walk away. I'll go fight a different mob. You know, like, I don't have to really pay attention. There's no sense of, like, fear at all. When I play my ninja, you know, it's a different story. If I go fight a boss or something, like one of the Dark Rift bosses or something, I actually have to block, I have to dodge, I have to use tactics. With the Wizard, I don't have to do shit. I just walk up to the mob and I just do this. Follow it up with the flame thing. Boom. Follow it up with this. Like, you know, like, it's just constant, just obliteration of mobs. You know, like, I don't have to worry about a goddamn thing. You know, and the craziest thing is that when you start evolving your powers, it gets even better. They got also these skill enhancements, which you can, you know, evolve your powers and all that. And then you also, when you talk to the actual skill guy, he'll evolve your powers to have bonuses like, you know, healing per damage and whatever else. Like, I put on this attack, the shift left click, I put a heal on this one, as well as, like, I think it was crit chance or some shit like that. So, like, I just literally, I do that and I see my health always constantly staying, like, capped. So if I ever for some reason took damage, I pop one of my heals, one of my many heals. I have like 4 different heals in my tray right now. Like, it's pretty crazy. So, like, there's so much survivability on this, and it's just literally no challenge. So if you're okay with playing classes that are overpowered, then you'll be right at home. You would love Wizard, because all around, doesn't matter if you do Succession or if you do Awakening, it's powerful all around. Like, there's no challenge with this. There really isn't. Like, I'm gonna stay here and let them hit me a little bit. Like, it's literally, there's like no fucking challenge. Come on, do some damage to me, please. Like, I feel like I'm playing a tank a lot of times. You know, and of course this also has to do with your gear. You know, if your gear is better, then you don't have to worry that much. But look, I'm taking a little bit of damage. Let me heal myself. Bloop. And then that heal recharges in 10 seconds. The other one is a minute, but it heals for your entire health bar. And then I have another one too that has like a 2-minute cooldown, but it heals for your entire health bar again. You know, so it's pretty crazy the survivability that you get from this. So you literally have to fall asleep on the keyboard to die on a wizard. Like, I really truly believe that. So anyway, yeah, this is, I just wanted to kind of show this off real quick. Personally, in my opinion, I just think it's too boring. I'm honestly gonna get this to level 60, and I might land up just kind of abandoning this class, and you know, maybe even using the skill points that I've earned and all that and transferring it to one of my new alts or something, because I'm honestly bored already of wizard. I think it's way too easy to play. I'm gonna go play a shy now and go get a real challenge. That's what I'm thinking about doing, at least. I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens.